Yep, there'll be some weird airplanes out there. Well, guys, I hope everybody's doing well this morning. I got up and was getting ready to start working on my taxes. Realized that I had a little bit of time before the offices open. I could start making phone calls trying to track down that errant paperwork. And I was like, well, when you have a little time in front of the computer, what do? Hey, you watch some YouTube videos. And several of you had sent me this one on the famous Cologne tank duel, which I'm going to put the link below. Most of you have probably already seen it, but if you're any kind of armor or history buff, this is a must-see. Very well done video about that famous battle, including pictures of many of the people that were involved. But what I really want to talk about today was I also watched Ed Nash's Military Matters, and he covered an airplane that I wasn't really familiar with, the Fieseler torpedo plane. And I was thinking, every company out there makes Mustangs and Zeros and all the popular famous airplanes, but only a handful of companies make the oddball off-the-wall stuff. And a lot of folks kind of hit what you might call cool plane burnout. I mean, they've built a dozen or a half dozen of just about everything, and they're looking for something new. And companies like Aerogram, whose raison d'etre seems to be weird airplanes, many of which were just paper airplanes that were never built, but still they leave the opportunity to build something new and different. And even a few of the mainstream companies have started putting out some different stuff, I think, just because they're having to reach into the sort of the experimental world or the almost fantasy world of planes that were just considered, just to keep people's interest. And personally, I find it all very interesting. And I'm sure there are parallels to this in cars and trucks and tanks and, of course, obviously in sci-fi. But I was wondering, what kind of oddball airplanes have you guys built? Or cars or trucks? Something that was like, maybe never made it in production. For cars, I would imagine the concept cars are classic examples, And, there's the Predicta and the Futura and a lot of others. And, just like right when we think we run out of things to build, something new pops up. And that's kind of cool. So keeping it short because I have to get back to work. But today I do plan to do some model building. I also want to get started on the diorama base, which is not my superpower. So I'm watching some videos on ways to make, I have some of the railroad scenery, grass and everything. And I'm looking on ways to make sort of an end-of-war German airfield. Probably going to use grass mostly. And I want it to look just good enough that it's, I don't want to get too involved in it, but I want it to look good enough that it is going to make something good to photograph the models on. It's going to be pretty big because it's going to have 3 airplanes on it and some vehicles. It's going to be my kit bash is going to be a bit of a diorama. But I got to go see some techniques. I really don't have some model railroad stuff. I don't have much in the way of actual diorama making stuff, though. So I need to, that's a skill I need to start working on because, having just a nice base to display a model really can make it just pop more. Well, anyway, that's what I got for this morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Take care of yourselves, guys. And as always, model on.